So, you're planning to study in UK from Bangladesh in 2026, and you may be wondering what is the exact blueprint or the roadmap that you gotta follow in order to make sure you go through a seamless process regarding your application process and admission, visa, all the way up to career development. Well, guess what? In this video, I'm gonna make sure that you learn everything you need to know about studying in UK in 2026. What's happening, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Well, if you're new here, my name is Z and welcome to my channel where I make helpful videos for students like you who want to study abroad. Through my channel, you're gonna get exclusive tips around your study abroad journey so you can make the best education, career, and lifestyle choices. Now, today's video is important because we're gonna be learning about how you can plan ahead to study in UK in 2026. There are about 5 phases that you need to follow, and these are all important steps, and missing one step could lead to deadly mistakes. Now, I have one request for you. If you end up enjoying this video and get a lot of value and helpful tips, make sure to subscribe to my channel. But also I want to share with you that I have an education consultancy company called Connected Education. We are located in Bangladesh and we want to help Bangladeshi students with their application process. So if you're interested to study in the UK and you need help regarding your application process, for example, admission application, scholarship application, visa application, my agency, Connected Education, can help you. You can sign up through the link in the comments. My team will get in touch with you. Trust me, we offer the best service in the entire industry. I can say that confidently because we've mastered this process. We offer the best service in the industry to make sure you get your offer letter from UK. We guarantee your scholarships. We make sure you pass your CAS interview, and ultimately we do our best to maximize your chances of visa approval from UKVI. Now, if you're interested, again, make sure to sign up through the link in the comments, but let's get into it. Phase 1, what you should be focusing on if you're just getting started and you're planning to study in the UK. The first thing you have to identify is where you can study in the UK. Well, guess what? The very first thing you should prioritize is what? Career opportunities. You're moving abroad in order to study and ultimately land your dream job. But if you somehow end up in a city where there are no job opportunities related to your field, you just made the worst decision of your life, right? Now, where are the cities where you're gonna get the most number of job opportunities in the UK? The list is London, Birmingham, and I would say Manchester. So these are the 3 cities. But then following that, you also have Leeds. You also have Bristol. Okay? These are some of the more busier cities, which may maximize your career opportunities in the UK. Like, they have the most number of businesses per area or square meter in UK, right? Once you know where to study, then it narrows down, or at least sets a goal for you that, okay, I can study at this university within the city or that. Once you know about this, let's design your timeline. When should you start your application process? So right now, it's almost very tight to apply for the January intake of 2026. The deadlines are very close. You won't be able to meet the visa timeline, CAS request process, and all that stuff. So we're gonna focus on May intake and the September intake. So if you're planning on going for the May intake, just give yourself at least 3 to 4 months before your class start date. Why? So for UK, the first thing you're gonna need is obviously your bank statement. It's not your education transcripts, it's not your application admission process, it's your bank statement. UKVI or even the university is ultimately going to need 1 month of bank statement so that they can clear your CAS and ultimately get your visa, right? So the timeline goes like this. You have all your documents, you submit your application. That takes about 2 weeks. Then once you submit your application, it will take about a month or 2 to get your CAS, okay? Including your interviews and all that stuff. And once you get your CAS, it will take you 1 to 2 weeks or just 1 week to submit your visa. And then it will take about 1 to 2 months to get your visa decision, right? So 1 to 2 months here, 1 to 2 months here. So that's almost 4 months. See? 3 to 4 months. That's exactly what you're going to need to do. So if you're planning on going for May, so let's start stepping backwards. So if I'm in May, I'm going to allow April and March for visa processing time. It's going to take me about 2 weeks. So by mid-March, I'll have my, or by mid-February or end of February, I'm going to have my visa documents ready. I'll allow the whole month of February and January for CAS processing. So I should start applying by December of 2025. So for those of you who are planning to study in UK in May 2026, you should ideally start your application process by December 2025. That is your timeline, okay? And if you want to expedite your process or accelerate your process, make sure to have your IELTS also ready to go by December 2025. You could also write your IELTS a bit later if you want. You may have time until February, but December would be ideal. So that's your timeline. Third, so what goes on in the admission process now, you may ask. So first we learn where should you study in the UK so you can set a goal. Second, you learn what's your timeline, when should you ideally start, and what you're going to encounter in every step. So now we're going to learn about what goes on in the admission process. This is how it goes. So let's say you're going to go for a bachelor or master's. For bachelor, you're going to have the ability to at least have 4 years of education gap, and you need to have at least a CGPA of 70%, a GPA of 70% if you're planning to apply for bachelor's. If you're planning to apply for master's, you could have an education gap of up to 10 to 15 years, and you need at least a CGPA of 60% in your bachelor. And in terms of costs, bachelors will require you to be able to afford at least 22 lakhs BDT per year to 25. For masters, you're going to need at least 25 lakhs per year. Okay, bachelors last about 3 years, masters last for 1 year. Okay, so what are the things you're going to require for documents? For UK admission process, obviously you're going to need your transcripts. In UK, you're going to need your CV, and also for UK, you're going to need your SOP, regardless of bachelor's, regardless of master's. Additionally, you might also need your letter of recommendation. So that's pretty much it. So your academic transcripts, your certificates and transcripts, your work experience CV, which at Connected Education, we can just clearly help you make it. Your SOP at Connected Education, we help you with that as well. So and also lastly, your letters of recommendation. At Connected Education, we provide you those templates so that it's easier for you to collect those letters of recommendation from your professor or teacher. Once you have those, you apply. It's free of cost in the UK, so the universities don't actually charge you anything. And once you apply, within 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to hear a decision. Okay? And once you hear a decision, they're going to basically send you either a conditional offer letter or an unconditional offer letter. So based on the conditions, you have to meet the conditions that then you can get the unconditional offer letter. Once you get that, now what you have to do first is you have to pay your tuition fees. And it's usually 50% of your tuition fees. Now, there are some universities, however, that's going to require £1,000 to £2,000 deposit for a CAS. I don't recommend those universities because those £1,000 to £2,000 are typically non-refundable. And in that case, what can happen is that the university can deny your CAS at any time, and then you're going to lose that £1,000 or £3,000, right? And you probably don't want to do that. So it's better to go with a university that maybe wants to take 50% tuition fee deposit, and that would be completely refundable, right? If in case your visa gets refused. So once you get the unconditional offer letter, you make the tuition fee payment. Usually within the unconditional offer letter, it's going to be mentioned how much scholarship you also received from the university. And then once you make the payment, what's going to happen is the university is going to unlock what's called your CAS Shield. right? This is basically a process for you to go through so you can ultimately get your CAS clearance. CAS clearance means the university is sponsoring you and it's saying to the UK visa immigration authorities that I vouch for the student and I want you to issue him a visa. He has been cleared, okay? So that's what's called CAS. Within CAS, you're gonna have to go through some formalities of just verifying your information, just putting in your information again, some of it designing your finances or uploading your financial details in it, uploading your bank statements and all that stuff, okay? And also uploading your TB test certificate. You're gonna have to go through what's called a TB test. So once you upload all these documents in CAS, it's a bit of a hectic process. You also have to go through an interview through CAS Shield, which is an automated interview process. So that basically helps you to ultimately get your CAS clearance. Once you're done with the process of CAS, it will take about 1 to 2 weeks for the university to give you the CAS clearance, which is simply a PDF document. Once you have this document, all you can do is within 1 to 2 weeks, you basically approach for your visa application, right? So far, everything has been free. Only thing you have to pay is the tuition fee, okay? Following this, we're gonna enter the visa phase. What does the visa phase include? The visa phase involves basically opening up a profile or through the portal of UK via immigration website. You're gonna have to insert all your details, simply upload the CAS details, university details, your personal information, and once that's done, you go towards the last step, which is the submission, and then you're gonna have to pay. So the payment typically goes like this. There are two parts to this payment. One is your insurance payment, which is IHS, and second is your visa application fee. The insurance payment depends on the length of the duration of your studies. It could vary. So many students think that, okay, it's 776 pounds per year. And they think, okay, my master's is gonna last for 1 year, so it's gonna be only 776. However, there is a catch. Depending on the start date and the end date of your studies, it may be more than 1 year. It may be 1.5. So it's gonna be like 776 plus half of 776. So don't be surprised if the insurance cost is a bit higher than you expected. Same goes for bachelors. It could be 3 times 776 or 3 times 776 plus half of 776. So there's this calculation behind insurance, okay? If you become our customer, we can easily clarify it for you. And then finally, your visa application fee, which is about 524 pounds, which is about 80,000 Bangladeshi taka. So that stays pretty much the same. So that's pretty much the cost. If in case you wanna prioritize your visa, make the visa application go through priority service where you get your decision within 5 days, you're gonna be charged another 90,000 taka, okay? So that is the cost chart for your visa process. Once you pay for your visa application, then you're going to receive the online portal through which you're going to be able to upload your visa documents and also book your biometric. That's pretty much it. Lastly, okay, you may be asking, how much time does it take for you to receive your visa decision as well? It could be within 4 days, it could be within 5 days, it could take 1 month, or it could take more than a month, it could take up to 2 months. Nobody knows what's the timeline, but the ideal thing to do is apply for your visa early. You're gonna receive your decision quickly. And keep in mind, students who go to London will definitely face interviews. They are gonna be invited for interviews. Outside of London, very rare chances that you will be called in for an interview. It's usually done online, but if it's outside London and if you get an interview, high chances you're gonna get refused. So just keep that in mind. If you are scared about attending interviews, it's better for you to apply outside of London so that you can minimize your chances of rejection, minimizes your chances of doing an interview. Now, what's the last thing that comes to you in your study in the UK journey? Step number 5. What leads to students being unsuccessful, right? So you went through your entire process of admission, visa, and now you got your UK student visa, which is an e-visa nowadays, so you're not gonna get a stamp on your passport. So let's say you move to the UK. What's gonna be your worst nightmare? Is the fact that you end up with no friends, you end up with no one really caring to hang out with you. And lastly, you don't get a professional job. How do you avoid that? My biggest advice for you would be, number one, learn communication skills. Learn how to talk to strangers. Learn how to become friends with them. Because you've never done this at home. You don't just go on the street and meet random people and try to be friends with them, right? You do small conversations, short, just little things. Hey, how's it going? That's it. But when you move abroad, you won't know anybody. So learn communication skills so you can approach strangers, at least show that you care about them, show that, or figure out how you can be friends with them and ultimately be able to network with just anybody, all right? So that's number one, communication skill. Number two, times now are not the same like it used to be. Before, in the past, you could just move abroad and you could just land any job you wish, right? Like there wasn't enough supply in the market of talent. But now there are enough people in the market that could take up your job, right? It could be an unprofessional job or a professional job, a minimum wage job, right? So the number of job opportunities are very, very limited for any fresh international student. It could be any country now. So what will make you stand out in the crowd? It's your experience. Try to build up a portfolio relevant to your field. Learn new skills. Already start working somewhere. Maybe offer your services for free. Do some unpaid internship. Just do anything relevant to your field. Start building that portfolio so that when you move abroad, you can approach employers saying that, look, I know I haven't graduated yet, but you can see my commitment and my drive. Now, don't be disappointed when some people don't hire you, because a lot of companies don't want to hire part-time international students because they need full-time people for serious roles. But it's a numbers game. So you could be applying to 100 jobs and one will accept you. So the key, number three, is to not give up if you don't get the opportunities you think you deserve. It's just a numbers game. But every opportunity you approach, make sure you care to work for that opportunity, because during your interview, your passion's gonna show. So that is basically my 2 cents on how to approach your study abroad journey for UK in 2026. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Again, if you're a Bangladeshi student watching this video, I have an agency called Connected Education. If you want details on how we can help you throughout your journey, make sure to sign up through the link in the comments. Trust me, you're gonna love what we have to offer. That being said, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you have any questions, make sure to shoot them in the comments. And that being said, I'll see you in the next video.